Kana? Yeah. Hello, hello. Today is a Guerilla stream. Yeah. And here we have... Oh yes, before that, yes, hello everyone. I'm not. And today we're going to be playing Disgaea, Afternoon of Darkness. Well, I mean, I call it Disgaea, but it's probably pronounced Disgaea. And the reason for that is because it stands for not, and Gaia is world, so the name is really not of this world. And that's the origin. That's probably the origin, I think. I kind of hope I got that down. And the reason for that, for this game being not of this world, is because it is most definitely not set in our world. Without further ado, shall we begin?
魔王クリチェフスコイシス。長きにわたり魔界を統治してきた偉大なる王の死は異空の闇を駆け抜け瞬く間に魔界全土へと広がった。これを機にクリチェフスコイ聖火でくすぶっていた野心旺盛な悪魔たちが次々と台頭。魔界は群雄割拠の乱世を迎えることになる。それから2年後。
殿下、殿下、起きてください。Those are gunshots. Those are definitely gunshots. The great Laharl. Here he is, everyone. Yes. Oh. Just taking a nap? What kind of person takes a nap for 2 years? This boy's just built different. A hard time waking him up. This is great banter. I love it. No, of course not. I mean, yes. Creature 2 years ago. That is a name I can't pronounce. We'll be calling him, I guess, King, or just... Yeah, just Overlord, maybe? Yes. Yep. Wonder what she was trying to do.
魔界はえらいことになっちゃってますよ。魔王の座を他の悪魔に奪われても私は知りませんからね。
There it is, the Overlord title.
なんだと、魔界の次期後継者たる俺様を差し置いて魔王の座を奪うだと。良い度胸だ。その者どもを片っ端から皆殺しにしてくれるわ。
Oh no. Aha, okay. Okay. I thought I almost missed that dialogue. No, that was it.
この絵と名もお供させていただきます。
でか追ってください。追って追って。
魔界のプリンス。
Yes. We are in the Netherworld. And let's see. Oh no, you can't jump in this game. Right, it's yeah. Let's just appreciate for a moment how well the 2D sprites here, this is definitely 2D sprite, blends in with the 3D sprites here. Or the 3D tiles or models. Just look at that. Look at how clean that is. Works quite nicely. Not a single round left. Alright. I'm here, I guess. I can do that. Let's see. A cool looking drill. Yes, it's a very comfy bedroom. He has the nice coffin aesthetic. Except, well, it's got bullets. It's got bullets through it. That'll need some fixing. And then, here we have a nice sword, but it's chipped. And then let's take a look at this. A lovely morning star. Yeah, that's a pretty large morning star. Look at how large that is. That's the size of this prince here. Prince Lahart, yes. Oh, that's right. So, pressing the triangle opens up the menu. And square does nothing for now, so we have circle and square. Circle and X buttons to work with. And the up and down and left and right basically do what you think they do. That's all for controls. Start and select don't actually do anything right now. And, okay. I've actually played through this entire game multiple times. It's been a while since I've actually done a run-through of it. Oh, excuse me. But for that reason, I will be doing a lot of, well, I mean, you could call it sequence skipping, but it's not necessarily sequence skipping. But I'm also going to be doing a lot of hidden stuff, the secret stuff that you normally don't figure out on your own. I mean, no, wait, no, you do figure it out on your own, but like, you normally don't figure it out on your first run through until, I guess, when you're almost done with the game or so. And the first one being this throne right here. You see, there's a little switch behind it that we're gonna press. So, I mean, I guess this is... this Guerilla stream is probably gonna run more like a Let's Play kind of deal, where I've already done the research of the game, and I'm going to be squealing to you about it, left and right, all about the game mechanics and whatnot, of a very old game. Ah, yes, this is the PSP version, which is why it's Afternoon of Darkness. Not, what was it? Hour of Darkness? I think that was the original version. Or the PC version. It's also because this is the one I'm most familiar with. And there may or may not be a couple of bug exploits I'm used to. I'm used to taking advantage of. And so, with that out of the way, let's talk to some of these NPCs here. And right off the bat, you notice that, hey, wait a minute, this guy is level 362. And look at our status, we're level 1. What in the world's happening? Ah, yes, this is Disgaea. A game where the max level is actually 9,999. And that means these guys are chump change. Well, they actually aren't. Endgame actually kind of expects you to have a team of maybe level 100s. Maybe. That might be stretching it. It depends on how you play the game, yes, but that's sort of, I guess, how it's scaled is level 100, is what I would approximate. So, these guys are just outright busted, and let's have a talk with them. That's just like you, Prince, taking a 2-year nap. I only planned on napping for about 10 days. Something's not right. 10-day nap, man, I feel you. That's something I'd like to do. Also, before we talk to these guys, they're just NPCs. And I think their names may or may not be randomly generated. Golek, level 316. All the royal vassals left the castle shortly after the king died. Even with me still around? Well, you were sleeping. They must have forgotten about you. Yeah, I mean, the loyal vassals of the king are pretty strong. Yeah. Dratty. Alright, let's see what you have to say. Oh, well, looks like I wasted my time digging that grave for you. Woo! Demons, built different. I'll put you in that grave instead. Not with your level 1 stats, you won't. Okay. Music shop. Let's talk to you. Under construction, please come back later. Understandable, have a nice day. What's that? Ah, yes. Is there a problem, Prince? I, Longinus, and I am at your service, Prince. Would you like to know about a weapon? No, I actually don't. I actually know. I know. But... Well, I mean, I guess some of you probably don't know, so... It's probably better to walk through. I mean, no, well, I mean, I could just tell you. We'll just go through here. Tutorial. Weapon. Fists. Brawlers rely primarily on their fists as weapons. Normal attacks have a high hit percentage and slightly higher chance of team attack than other weapons. Now, by hit percentage, we mean, what was it? I forgot. There's a mechanic for it, I believe. It's either, it increases the stats for your accuracy, or it's just a naturally higher hit percentage. Don't know which one, but all in all, fists are decent. They're pretty useful, but they don't deal the most damage. The special techniques learned with the fists are short-ranged and have a small area of effect, but many will allow you to knock enemies into different positions. That is why fists are important. It's being able to move enemies onto specific tiles for your own use, and well, to your advantage. Yes, this is a tactics game. We'll get to the tutorial in a bit. And I mean, swords, spears, axe, bow, gun, staff. Let's see. I'll tell you my opinions about those. Goss. Yeah, here's a ghost. Good morning, Prince. How are you feeling? Couldn't be worse. My body feels really stiff from sleeping too much. Why don't you warm up on the tutorial map? Go see the Dimensional Gatekeeper and she'll set you there. I see. Gargoyle. In order to prevent intruders, I have closed all gates. Please talk to the Dimensional Gatekeeper if you'd like to leave the castle. Yeah, whatever. You probably just didn't want to watch the gate. That's true. That is very true. And so we'll talk to this Prinny over here. And he'll say, I feel a breeze, dude. This castle's getting old. Okay, yeah. Of all the creatures here, this guy is called a Pretty. There's some lore behind it. We'll get to that. We'll get to that later. tutorial. Items can be purchased at the Rose and Queen Corporation, or Corporate, Netherworld Branch, or Co for short. Each character can equip up to 4 items. A character can equip 1 weapon and 3 other items, such as armor. Monsters can only equip weapons from the Monsters Only Weapons category. It is best to equip a weapon that suits a character's inherent strengths. Now, inherent strengths are, if we go here and we go to the status, you see weapon mastery, right? Well, the weapon masteries, I believe they go from E to S, and it goes E, D, B, C, no wait, E, D, C, B, and A. Yeah, I know my English alphabet. I know my English alphabet. It's okay. It's okay. And then S. S is just up there. And so, as you can see here, our prince is pretty good with any weapon. You can give anything to him and he'll be good with it. But the game gives you a sword to start off with, because, well, swords are great beginner weapons. And we'll take a look at our vassal Etna here. Etna. E-D-E-C-D-B-A. Yes, that is definitely how the aptitude system goes. No, wait, not the aptitude system. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. It's the weapon mastery I meant. And well, we take a look at Etna here, and well, she's a vassal, and she's not as good as weapons compared to the prince, but she does specialize in spears and axes. Yeah. All in all, she's just not as good as the prince, and I am sort of guilty of not using her in my playthroughs. Because while she's useful as a unique character, well, spears kind of lack in damage, and there are other better characters you can invest in. We'll get to that later too. Oh yeah, as for the second secret part, there's a switch by the skull right here, and we're gonna press it. As for the actual secret here, we'll leave that for now, because that is also plot relevant. So we're not gonna touch it. I'm sorry, I'm skipping through all sorts of things. This is a terrible playthrough already. We're just spoiling things left and right. Anyway, Battle 2. Welcome to the Risen Queen Company, Netherworld Branch. We here at Risen Queen work hard day and night to offer a selection of merchandise that customers want. Our selection is constantly changing. If you don't find something you want, try coming back at a later time. Please take your time. Risen Queen Company, Netherworld Branch. You can sell stuff, but normally you don't really sell anything until your inventory fills up. And as you see here, we have, this is our defensive equipment and consumables. What's interesting here is that you might note that mint gum and candy here, it says that the item recovers health at the bottom corner. I mean, well, it's not really the bottom corner. You start at the bottom left. That's how you read, from left to right. Hopefully with English, that's how we read. And it's just the whole bar. That's the whole description. And so it says it recovers health, right? Well, HP. And here it also says it recovers SP. Well, the thing here is that there is no sort of... It just works as an item. It has the same stats as a regular piece of armor would. You know, it has everything you know, and it can have all the other stats as you see here. I mean, there's 0 right now, but that means nothing. If you wanted to, you could add in stats to it. Of course, you can't use it because it's an item. I mean, you can't equip it since it's an item. So how this works is, when you consume an item, right? We take a look at the health, the HP value that it has, which is 100. That is actually how much health you can recover. I'll just call it health. That is how much health you recover when you use the item. And the same goes for our unopened drink here. As you can tell, it recovers SP. And so when you look at the SP stat, you will recover 22 SP when you use this item. Along with, well, and here, okay, right. This is a good example, right? This item, it says it recovers SP. But if you notice, for some reason, it has 1 point of HP notated. And it also has 20 SP instead of 22. There's a lot of details. We might get bogged down to them. I guess I can talk about them later once they're more relevant. But the idea here is that when you use this item, you actually recover 1 HP, because that's how items work. When you use it, you recover the HP value and the SP value it has. So when you use this, yes, you recover 1 HP, and you also recover 20 SP. And there's nothing you really want to buy here. Items are sort of irrelevant right now. Except for weapons. I don't know, actually, you could get yourself some weapons. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm skipping through the dialogue. Whoops. If you equip a warrior with a sword, his level of weapon mastery will quickly rise. You can have characters use weapons that are not best for them, but their weapon mastery will rise at a slower rate. Regardless of a character's special ability with a sword, sword special techniques cannot be used unless a sword is equipped. It's best to focus on each character's specialty to start with. I mean, that's sort of what I've been talking about already, with regards to, what is it, the weapon mastery stats, right? S, A, B, C, D, E. And so, right, and we only have 30 HL right now, which also means we can only really buy 1 good weapon. I'm not going to buy anything, because for tutorial purposes, we don't have to. Though it is good if you're, and I do have plans for what I want to do with this playthrough. We're gonna have a little fun here. Let's talk to you. Tutorial, welcome to the Netherworld Hospital. Here we'll treat your wounds and heal any and all damage you may have taken. We will, of course, charge you accordingly. You can earn prizes based on the total HP and SP that haven't recovered, so please go get thrashed in battle. Yep. That means we're gonna be using money to recover our HP and SP. Don't worry, I believe if this is the PSP version, PlayStation Portable version, well, I mean, in all versions, really, money is not that big of an issue. Alright, zombie, let me see. What do you have to say? Eat, sleep, and do anything you want all day. It's so good to be a demon. Oh yes, I love it. Me too. What I would pay to do that. Have you ever thought of working for me? Of course not. Man. Pretty. This is the Item World Gateway Center. We're not open yet. Okay, the Item World is a whole monster of itself. Tutorial, have you saved yet? When you want to save, press triangle to open the menu and select save. You can only save in the Overlord's castle. Once you have entered an area map, there's no turning back, so be careful. Let's save right now, actually. Alright. Cosmos. Okay, Cosmos! Haha. Tutorial. I am the Dimensional Gatekeeper. That's a good name for a Dimensional Gatekeeper. I will input the coordinates for your desired destination, Prince, and you will be instantly transported there. Please select where you would like to go. So this is basically your level select. That's how Disgaea is sort of divided. The gameplay loop revolves around you going into a stage, clearing the stage, maybe going back and healing if you need to, buying some weapons if you are feeling like you ever need to actually buy tools, and maybe going into the item world here, and that'll be for later. Oh man. Please select where you would like to go. So let's go to the tutorial. Now, I would skip the tutorial, but there's funny dialogue, so we're staying for it.
悪魔か。
殿下、ここはエトナにお任せを。長いこと寝てたせいで戦い方を忘れてるといけませんからね。こんなこともあろうかとちゃんと用意してあるんです。プリリー隊カモーン。出てこいっつってんだろおめえら。どう
Here
です
they
か
are.
私が雇ったプリニー隊です。私が一声かければ100億光年の彼方からでもさっそうと駆けつける忠実な家来です。
Anything you say?
あれがか。
ほら、忠実でしょ。
Yes, yes, very loyal.
なあ、戦う前から味方にダメージ与えてどうするのだ。それよりあの悪魔どもさっきからずっと待ってるぞ。
あ、本当だ。わざわざ待っててくれるなんて律儀な悪魔もいたもんですね。
You're right. They are pretty patient. There's also pretty polite demons. Polite for a demon, isn't it?
敵ながら見上げたやつらだ。その心意気に免じて半殺しで勘弁してやろう。
Half to death. Half to death.
殿下ったら優しい。私だったら全殺しするのに。
優しいだと。やめろ。寒気がするではないか。
Spoken like a true demon.
ああ、半殺しは撤回だ。俺様が全殺しにしてやる。
ムキになっちゃって。まだまだお子ちゃまね。単純。これなら思ったより簡単に計画が実行できそう。
Uh-oh.
あ、
Well,
何か言ったか。
いいえ、殿下。さ、ご命令をば。戦い方覚えてますよね。
tutorial basics of battle. Just in case you forgot, let me explain the basics of battle. Move the cursor over to the base panel and press X to select the characters you wish to dispatch. I'm not doing anything, this is just auto-running, and it'll show you what to do. If you want to cancel an order to dispatch a character, move the cursor over the character and press, circle. For example, if you press circle here, you can cancel the action. Now let's issue a command to a dispatched character. First, move him or her next to an enemy. And select attack. You have now assigned an action. However, the character won't attack immediately. If you want to execute the actions which you've assigned, open the menu and select either execute or end turn. In this case, let's pick execute. Nice. See? The character attacked. Assign actions. Triangle, execute. Remember this, you'll be using it a lot. Now, there's one problem with this, is that it is sort of menu heavy, because this is something you have to do every single time you want to attack. You have to press 3 buttons at the very least. And, I mean, for some people, that's a very big turnoff, and it gets really annoying, because that is 2 extra useless buttons that you have to do, but unlike your action games, where you're inputting way more buttons than I would, because you're spamming up, down, left, right, A, B, square, every second, I get to sort of just sit here and go, is this what I want to do? And then, you can do some pretty neat combos. I mean, I say there are neat combos, but, well, I mean, we might not see all of them. I can do neat combos by just pressing 2 buttons. How's that? totally superior. No, I'm kidding. There is a certain charm to the massive menu delving that you get to do in these games. If you assign actions to multiple characters, they will be executed in the order that you assign them. Be careful, you can't cancel actions once you've chosen to execute them. That is actually pretty important. So like once you attack, you can't take that back. After you're done issuing commands, open the menu and end your turn. It will then be the enemy's turn. Watch as he gets ganged up on. Absolutely beaten. Ow! Why do I have to be the one to do this? I'm the next overlord, for crying out loud. That was an example of something not to do. Only an idiot would rush straight into the enemy alone. You made me do it! Characters killed in battle, like our prince here, can be revived by paying Hell, HL, to the castle's hospital. If all of your dispatched characters are defeated, the game will be over. So the basic idea is to gang up on one character and beat the living daylights out of him, hmm? Exactly, Prince. Remember to use your head next time. You're the one who told me to do it. Team attacks sometimes occur when allies are positioned next to attacking characters. If several characters attack with the same enemy in a row, a combo will result, and greater damage will be dealt. If you want to know more, press triangle and select help from the menu. Now, of course, this stuff I will be explaining somewhat, but, well, I mean, since... I hope I still remember how to play the game. Right now, let's take a look at our stats. As you can tell, as you can see here, our prince has substantially higher stats than any of our servants and vassals. So we're going to be positioning him right here. Oh, right, and you might also notice that he has a movement of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tiles. The deal here is that movement, as you can probably tell, where is it? Right, it's underneath the level, right? It's right below it. Right under, well, I mean, it's on the third line. Underneath counter, and counter is actually the number of times you get to counter a normal attack. You have movement, and you have jump. Jump is the amount of terrain you can... The vertical terrain you can go up with your movement, and movement is just how many tiles you can move up. And in this case, if you notice here, the terrain is stated, well, the terrain height is stated, well, what would you call it? Height? No, I just call it the terrain value. That's probably a more general term that we can use here. Is 6 here, and 9 here. And DM probably means demon meters. So whatever the metric system they're using for this is. And so a jump of 20 means if this spot here is 6, we can move up to a tile as long as it is 6 plus 20, which is 26 and under. If it's 27 DM, you will not, this Laharo or Prince will not be able to move up. I mean, okay, we should probably attack. That's probably it for now. The math for damage is kind of convoluted, so I don't remember it, and I don't really, I mean, you don't have to remember it, all you have to know is that the bigger the number, the better. And you might also notice that Laharo just took those hits like a champ. That's also because Laharo has a whopping 18 defense right now, while these guys only have 12 attack. And if your defense is substantially higher than your enemy, then yes, you won't be taking that much damage. This actually changes once you learn special attacks and whatnot, because special attacks deal just... The damage just scales way more than what your defense can handle. So it becomes a game of either, do I completely invest in defense and maybe afford to take a couple hits, or do I invest in attacks and basically murder everything in my path as a demon. And the correct answer is murder everything, because the whole point of this game is to beat down all the enemies in your way, like a true demon. Oh, okay, here we see our prince level up. And we also see a substantial increase in stats due to the fact that it's a level 1 to 2. And these stat increases are relatively linear. So that means a difference of level 1 to 2 is actually quite large, but a difference from level 10 to 11 is a bit less, and a difference from 99 to 100 is way less. Which means that, yeah, you can get away with maybe just being level 90 and taking down a level 100. You may also notice that while Lahara has a counter of 2, he only countered once. And that's because counters take your attack into account when you counter. Well, so at the end of a turn, if you have attacked, your counter actually goes down by 1. Which means you only get to normal attack one more enemy instead of the 2 characters that you could have countered. And while, you know, it might be a lucrative... It might be a lucrative mechanic that you can take advantage of in different ways. For the most part, well, by endgame, everybody will be spamming specials, and counters, unfortunately, do not counter special attacks. So let's go through battle basics too. More stray demons. Oh, annoying, I wish I could just toss them. Well, why don't you? You can? Yes. Disgaea offers a very interesting mechanic called lifting and throwing, which I have not seen in, I think... Yeah, I haven't seen this mechanic in any other tactics game I played, actually. Well, other than, like, what is it, Makai Kingdom and Phantom Braid, which are from the same developers, so there's that. For Ignorant Prince, let me explain the commands lift and throw. In situations like this where you're too far for your attacks to reach, hook up a character by selecting lift. Hey, stop it, Edna! Then select throw. You'll have to decide on a direction and distance too. I'll throw you next to the enemy. Oomph. See, that covered a lot of ground. Now you're able to attack. You can use lift and throw on both allies and enemies. Keep in mind that only humanoid characters can use lift and throw. Monsters can't do it. By making good use of these commands, you can extend your attack range. This is very helpful in moving around on some maps, so don't forget it. It's actually probably a required usage in later areas. There are other uses for the commands, besides covering ground, like holding an enemy so he or she can't move, saving injured allies from danger, etc. By the way, pretties will explode when they're thrown, so handle them with care. Dude, you gotta be kidding. And if you throw an enemy at an enemy, there may be other fun uses waiting to be discovered. Try experimenting. That's it, I'm gonna throw you next time. Oh, and one more thing. A character will take damage if the turn ends and he/she is still holding something. Okay. Fun fact. Lahara has enough movement to actually go over here and start swinging his sword. So we're gonna do just that. And he's also a high enough level to take care of it in one hit by this point. And he'll counter the next enemy just right. so that the next attack takes care of it. And he gets a level up. Now then, let's take a look here. If we want to efficiently murder these guys, we'll just have them come and counter us due to the fact that none of them have specials yet. Which means they have to normal attack me. And that means Lahara gets the counter. This way, we can move, attack, and turn. Well, I mean execute or end turn. And let the enemies do their thing, and we'll counter. And that cleans up 2 enemies in what... Well, 2 enemies for the price of 1, really. Okay, next is Geo-Effect. Geo-Effect is pretty good. It's a very interesting... It's another very interesting mechanic. Yes, Geo-Panels. Interesting. Yes, they are interesting. Very interesting. They're pretty fun. But most of the time, if not always annoying, I feel like they're more annoying than fun when it comes down to it. These are geographical features that are attuned to the elements of the universe. Yes. Crystallization of those elements result in geosymbols, like the one right here. Well, that doesn't explain anything, so let me clarify a few things. Tutorial Geoeffects. Let me explain Geoeffects, a system which heavily influences battle. Yes, they really do heavily influence battle. Take a good look at the colored panels on the area map. Enemy boost plus 50. Notice that enemy boost plus 50%. Yes, it doesn't state it on the top left corner. But yes, it is missing a percent, which means this is a true 50%. Is displayed at the top of the screen. This means that when an enemy is on a blue panel, his, her attack and defense will be powered up by 50%, which is terrible. You don't want that happening. Also, I don't think it's just attack and defense. It's just a general boost of stats. This is not good for you, so it's wise to get rid of this effect. You might be wondering, where does it come from in the first place? I wonder. Why, looky here, I just found an object labeled Enemy Boost on this blue panel. This guy's the culprit. How obvious was that? This object is called a Geosymbol, and as long as it's on a colored panel, all panels of the same color will be affected. Let's toss it somewhere. And this is the script doing its thing here. It's gonna lift and it's gonna throw it. The effect Enemy Boost is no longer on any of the blue panels, but... Huh? The Geosymbol is now affecting the red panels. That doesn't change much. Let's just destroy it then. Now here we see a little bit of cheating happening, but we overlook it because it's a tutorial. Oh, before we do that, do you see the 2 displayed in the Geosymbol status window? Remember that. Now it's time to attack. Go ahead, Prince. Well, okay. So the 2 symbol here is, well, I mean the 2, right, it's, well, 2 symbol. It's not really a symbol. It's a word. I mean, it's made up of 2 symbols. 2 is made up of 2 symbols. That blue tile over there is... Yeah, you might see a... Yeah, that blue square over there is going to be explained really quickly. There you have it. The red panels are now blue. Yes, that's because... Remember the 2 in the status window? This is what it was referring to. Destroying a blue geosymbol will turn all panels which are the same color as the one it was on blue. Damage will be dealt to anyone standing on one of those panels at the time, so be sure to take that into consideration. No damage will be dealt if you destroy a blue panel on a blue geosymbol on a blue panel. No panels will change color either, which is why no damage is dealt, because damage dealt happens when a panel changes color. You can build up your bonus gauge, let's call it a gauge, by changing the color of geo panels. If you are able to use what you've learned to destroy all the geopanels, then you will receive a panel terminal bonus. Panel termination bonus. All of this relates to a term I used before, geo effects. That's pretty complicated. You can almost ignore it for now, but we won't. You're right, it is. It might be a good idea to start off by destroying only the harmful geosymbols. Nullifying all the panels is for experts who understand the concepts of geo effects completely, and you're not one of them. That's some shade to Prince. What'd you say? Not all geosymbols have negative effects. When you get the chance, you should try and take advantage of the useful ones. Lastly, press the select button to turn off the geopanel display. Wait. Lastly, press the select button to turn the geopanel display on, off. Alright, if I do this, then that turns off the geopanels. And if I do this, I turn them back on. I actually like them on. So, as you see here, we have some beneficial ones. Because this gives you 50% extra EXP, this gives you 50% extra money, and this gives you 50% extra defense. So all these tiles are quite useful. So we're not going to break any of them, and let's take a look at our menu. We actually have bonus character help, quit, and settings. We've probably gone through enough tutorial for the day, so I'll leave the help menu for later. There's a bit more in-depth game mechanic discussion there that I'll probably end up explaining, or doing, maybe some of them I might not. The bonus here is, well, it actually correlates to the bonus gauge. What happens is, if you build up the bonus gauge enough, you'll get more items for clearing the stage, which are listed here in the bonus. And the bonuses are relatively random, depending on how strong the enemies are, or just the stage in general. You will have better items. So these are all effectively level 1 items, or tier 0 and tier 1 items. As for our prince here, we will just let him loose. And you might notice here that our prince has a special attack ready for us. If we go to Etna, you'll see that special and lift are both grayed out. Well, I mean, that's because Etna does not have any specials right now. We take a look at her status and we press the square button to switch between statuses. You'll see that it says no special techniques learned. Meanwhile, if we go to our prince here, you'll notice that his weapon mastery in sword has reached level 1. And by reaching level 1 in swords, he has learned a special move called Blade Rush. It's a dash attack that slices enemies in half, but you probably didn't need me to explain that, because the tiles effectively advertise what it does. And you might also notice that there's a yellow panel, and the yellow panel for this specific skill is defining the attack zone being is defining an empty space that is required. Which is why it says the attack zone is obstructed on the top right corner. So what we're going to do is we're going to Blade Rush these two enemies. You might also, oh yeah, there's also one more mechanic here, that if you hold down triangle, wait a minute, let me, was it not triangle? I could have sworn you could, oh no wait, yeah, right, okay, so I already moved Laharo, but if you have not moved yet, and you select a special, you can hold down triangle to move him. Yes, that was what I was trying to do. And so we're just going to enter it because there's nothing else I want to do. Now, Laharo's going to get ganged up on, but he's much stronger than all of them, so he's not going to take any damage. Or maybe not. But as you can see, the enemies are stacking up on special bonuses from hitting the same enemy. And yeah, we can actually blade burst these two. Very clean animation. And we'll end our turn. And that's because, right, the special hit, I believe, increases your damage that you deal if, well, I mean, it does, but you can't really see it because Laharl has leveled up and is now kind of curb stomping enemies that are, well, he's 4 times the level of the enemies here.
少しは体がほぐれてきたようだが、本調子にはまだまだ程遠いな。
それじゃあ殿下、議会で仲間を増やしたらどうです？議会に行けばキャラメイクで忠実な弟子を作成することができますよ。
Oh yes, character creation. Good stuff.
弟子か。悪くないな。よし、弟子を作りに行くぞ。
Tutorial, the Dark Assembly. Welcome to the Dark Assembly. Here you can create characters as well as submit proposals. In order to submit proposals, you have to have energy known as mana. You can gain mana by defeating enemies. If you want, you can use the mana you have right now to make a new character. A cleric might be useful for healing, while a warrior or brawler might come in handy when attacking. If Prince Laharl makes the characters, they will become his loyal pupils. Manage their growth carefully. What would you like to do? Now this is the beautiful world of character customization. Oh, it's beautiful and it's only the beginning. There's so much you can do later on. I love it. Now, let's create some characters. What I have in mind actually is using you guys in chat as characters. And as you can see, for now, we don't have enough mana to create anybody above incompetent. So yes, that means for you guys in chat, you guys are going to be, you knots are going to be stuck as incompetents and good for nothings. But don't worry, that can change. There's a fancy mechanic that I'll talk about soon. Actually, you know what we can do? We can take the promotion exam. That's part of the speedrunning deal. Well, it's not really speedrunning. It's you can't. It's just a little bit of, well, you can call it sequence breaking, I guess. Just like in real life. Oh, give yourself more credit, you knots. I mean, right? Okay. Hey Prince, have you gone to the hospital? You should make sure you heal everybody after a battle. Treatment may not be free, it costs HL. But please heal us too, dude! Yeah, Zombie gave you 300 HL. Let's heal. Let's heal the Laharl because apparently we didn't get healed from that tutorial stage. And let's actually save because I have a feeling we might die. We're also going to be save scumming quite a lot. And at times, maybe, like, depends. It depends on the situation, but I might do a little bit of cheese here and there. Laharl will fight a lot against these examiners. Proceed? Yes, he is already level 4. So the promotion exam is an exam that lets you unlock more things to do in the evil assembly. And one of those things that you can unlock is pretty important, but we won't be strong enough to take care of it anytime soon. Actually no, we might get strong enough. No, never mind. No, that's not going to work. No. Yeah, it'll be in maybe a couple chapters, episodes, if you will. And so right now it's just low, and Yeah, it is a single character test with the promotional exams. So you do end up having to need some physical or magical form of offense. Also, one thing to note is that, where is it? No, it doesn't show you here, does it? That's strange. Well, whatever the case is you actually have an accuracy bonus when you attack from the back, and you also deal more damage sometimes. Which I haven't been using, but yeah, there's our first stage clear. Laharl gets a level up too, and well, he's actually pretty strong right now. He could probably curb stomp the first stage, well, actual stage, but that also gives him 27 mana. Let's actually test. Okay, so now he's rank 1. You start off at rank 0. And with rank 1, you get... Wait a minute. Yeah, at rank 1, you get to propose more expensive stuff and cheaper stuff. Which isn't anything particularly special. It's just, that's how you get better stuff from the store. But it also... what is it? Right, but you also have to buy stuff in order to raise your customer rank before you can raise your product rank. And I don't think the only reason why you would want to make an appeal for cheaper items at the assembly is just for collectors purposes, I think. Anyway, let's save again. And we're going to be doing another promotion exam because a level 8 corpse, and the goals are level 5. We can try. We're probably going to fail, but we can try. Oh, at level 5, Lahoro unlocks his special. Okay, so unique characters unlock special attacks at higher levels. Well, at certain levels. Generic characters that you can create in the Evil Assembly don't have unique specials. They are locked in only learning magic spells and weapon specials. Oh, well, actually, other than that, monsters are a different breed. Monsters have their own little specials that they learn at certain levels. So what we're going to do is we're going to Blazing Knuckle these guys. And unfortunately, we will not be dealing enough damage to take care of these enemies. Oh yes, and here you see they're doing their own specials now. See, enemies have. Yes. Okay. Well, this is all but lost. Well, now he has 3 health, and he's going to definitely die if he gets hit again. And naturally, the sensible thing would be to walk away. But then you realize he's poisoned, and the odds of getting poisoned from 3 zombie pukes is pretty high. And so that is our first game over. So we're just gonna reload our save and not do that stage. We're going to actually create characters. Right. Mages. Mages and skulls. I prefer mages. Just because they have, they look cuter. The skulls don't look that cute in this version. They get a rework in the later games. But these guys just look like creepy skull-wearing men. And I guess it's really cool aesthetic though. Not gonna lie. They actually have a higher hit aptitude instead of a higher speed aptitude, which kind of, it works out better for them because your hit stat is somewhat relative to your accuracy, while your speed stat is somewhat relative to your dodge chance. And therefore, hit is actually superior. But we're going for cute mages this time around. Let's see, we have a red mage, green mage, and blue mage. And as you can tell, well, if you haven't noticed already, characters here have fire, ice, and wind. And if you connect the dots here, that means your red mage learns how to cast fire, your green mage learns how to cast wind, and your blue mage learns how to cast ice. Clerics are actually pretty cool. And clerics are really good. Why are clerics so good? Well, let's take a look at the character aptitudes first. If you notice, most of the character aptitudes are really poor when it comes to stats that aren't their specialty. For example, let's take a look at our warriors. Other than HP, attack, and defense at 100%, their SP, both of them are at 60%. Which means the SP, okay, aptitude becomes important when it comes to equipping gear. And you're actually going to get most of your stats from equipment. Like it or not, equipment does give a very, very large amount of stat increase. Which is why 60% means that, well, which is why it's important to have a high aptitude, because 60% aptitude means you're only going to get 60% of whatever the gear gives you. So if you have, say, an item that gives you, an equipment that gives you 10 SP, right? With 60% aptitude, you get 60%, you actually only get an increase of 60% of that 10, which is 6. Not only that, the warriors themselves already start off with a measly 6 SP in terms of their base stats. And the way level ups work is that we take these base stats, we cut them in half, and that's how much, and that's your stat increase every level up, approximately. There's a little bit of randomness that comes to it, so you may or may not gain a little bit more or a little bit less, but that's around the average. And it pans out as you gain a lot more levels. Which means... yeah, and it pans out as you get a lot more levels. Which is why the average is that half. So, if we do the rough calculations, by level 99, the warrior will have... what is it? So half of 6 is 3. And... so yeah, okay, so the warrior will have around 300 SP. Going back here to looking at our specials, well, Haru's level 5 special already costs 15 SP. Oh, and by the way, when you level up these special moves, they will end up costing more SP, but they'll do substantially more damage. So there's that too. Well, substantially, not really. The SP cost sometimes isn't really worth it, but it's a necessary evil if you want to deal big damage. And yeah, and see here with brawlers, their defense and intelligence stat, or int, or magic related stat. Int is actually the spellcasting stat. So yes, your brawlers are unable to cast any magic that well. They even have an E aptitude and staves, which are the go-to spellcaster weapon. Right, and so let's talk about clerics. Right, clerics are really good because not only do they have an aptitude minimum of 70% across the board, right? They get a nice 100% int and 100% SP to start off with, while having 80% HP, which isn't all that bad, and yeah, just overall really good. And then you can also unlock higher tiers of these classes, which will have better aptitudes. The thing here is, the warrior aptitudes don't really change that much. They get higher hit, maybe some higher res and speed, and SP, and maybe those increase a lot less. I don't think there are many cases where your percentage aptitude actually goes beyond 100%. The red mages are one of the rare, well, I mean, the mages in general are one of the rare cases where you do have 110%. What else am I missing here? Yes, but the thing here is that the mages themselves have incredibly low health, going for the low and defense, going for the measly 3 points of defense and 40% health aptitude. That makes them incredibly squishy because any attack that lands on them that is not magic, because magic is reliant, magic defense is actually your res or resistance stat. So yes, anything that is not magic will go through them and make quick work. And well, also you also have to consider that magic is actually one of the most damaging special skills out there, and the mages also have really low health in general. So getting hit by a spell may or may not also sentence them to death, which is why we take our alternative, the Cleric. While lacking a bit less in offensive, the Cleric has a much more well-rounded stat pool of 13, 12, 9, 5, 12, 11, 10, and 11. If you see here, the Red Mage has almost the same amount of SP, well, just a little bit higher, along with almost the same amount of intelligence, while having 2 points less in defense and less in attack. Well, but since we're building for spellcasting, attack does not really matter, and it would have been nice if it was swapped with defense instead, so we could actually take some physical hits beyond the point. The Clerics also have... oh no. Yep, slightly higher speed and hit, just slightly, just a couple points. So there's that too, and the difference will only kind of... You'll see the difference more as we unlock more tiers, which are obtained from leveling up our generic classes, right? Oh man, that's a lot of ums, I'm sorry. I should know this. So our first character is going to be a cleric, and we're going to make her incompetent. I like the female sprite. And let's call her... what should we call her? What should we call her, chat? Chat, are you there? Which one of you wants to be a cleric here? If not, I'm going to name her something silly. Oh wait, I'll give you like, I don't know, a few no, not a few seconds. Maybe a few minutes. Meanwhile, take care of some stuff here. Well, anyone? Alright. I guess we'll... oh wait, there is a random function, right? Where is it? I could have sworn. Oh, no, no. What should I call her, actually? That's a good question. Doうしようかな。Yeah, let's call her Sword. And then let's increase her attack, well, her int, which is her magic attack, by 1. Okay, so when you do this, if you notice, our Cleric's defense actually got cut down from 5 to 4, which is absolutely unacceptable, but it's what we're going to take here. It's fine because we're left with 13, we're still left with our 13 int, so that bonus didn't go to waste. You see here, the thing with when you generate new characters, there's actually a little bit more randomness to it, and so it doesn't just give you the base stats raw. It gives you, what is it? A little bit, yeah, it gives you like a variance. There's, I don't know, something like maybe 20%, but that's probably a dumb number. That's probably wrong. But what it is you will see a drop or increase of numbers in some of your stats. Like, see here, I believe, yeah, our hit also got reduced from 10 to 9, which is equally atrocious. But, yeah. And I think our HP might have gotten tanked as well, but it's commonly a 1 or 2 point difference. And, you know, if you really want to min-max, you can save and reload and make sure the stats you want actually get an increase, because, in fact, it doesn't only go down, as you may have seen with this example. You might get something like 6 defense instead of 5, but that's a little bit rare, I believe, I feel like. And our Cleric also learns Heal, which is going to be important for later on. In fact, well, actually it might not be, never mind. Let me think about that. How important is a healing skill in this game? Well, oh no. Okay, it'll be useful for a casual playthrough. So, let's buy her a staff. And, oh, okay, so you might notice here that the staffs have a little bit of variance in what they increase. And we want a witch staff because it gives much more than a light staff, even though it's a little bit more expensive, but that means it's just of a higher tier. So you might notice that one witch staff gives you 7 SP but 13 int, while the other witch staff gives you only 5 SP but a whopping 18 int and 4 res. What's the difference? Well, if we click to the next page here with our square, you'll notice these names or titles. These are innocents, and these are creatures, well, entities in your weapon that actually boost your weapon stats, equivalent to their level, and their level is to the right, of course, which means that, well, usually the more innocents the better, because you're getting more bonuses. It's also why this witch's staff costs 20 more HL than this other one, since it has more innocents, which is why we're gonna buy this, and we're gonna equip it onto Sword. Yes, we're calling our hero Sword. Healer. Yeah, she'll also be our healer. As well as, well, she'll also be our hero as well as a hero. Hero as well as our hero, I'm a hero as well as our healer. Oh no, I'm getting things mixed up. And so with Lahoro, we'll also create one more character. And this time, well, I want to make a warrior. Do I want to make a red skull this time? Or do I want to make a war? Well, we already have Laharo as our physical character right now. We'll probably discard him because playing as a unique character makes the game somewhat easy, and I'd rather play an army, make an army of my viewers, actually. That sounds a little more fun here. So let's see here. Our next character would be a mage. We already have a cleric. And well, I'd like to explain the mage properties a little bit more that make it a little bit busted, and which is why there's a thing called the mage meta, and also how you can cheese a lot of stuff. But we already have a cleric, and then I could use the cleric to explain a couple other items. Right, but the cleric is going to have trouble actually beating up an enemy since normal attacks use. I might have made a mistake here in creating a healer. She's actually probably going to be useless. With that being said, we have a thing called quit. And we can reload again. We can save again. Save and load. Yes, this is the save scum life. Okay, so let's create a mage this time. And let's go with green this time. And since she's green, we'll call her green. Now, let's call her spinach. Spinach caverns. No, that is not how you spell spinach. That is not right. That is clearly not right. That is how you spell spinach. Right? Can someone confirm? And we'll be putting 1 point in int here. Ah! Okay, you notice how her int went from 14 to 13 here. And her defense went down from 3 to 2. That's horrendous. That is incredibly bad. Actually, I quit. Let's make a healer again. Yeah. That means we are not getting our bang for our buck. I have an idea now. Yes, this is the way. This is the way. I got it now. We're gonna make sword. We're gonna put a point into it. And, okay, see here. This one's actually solid, even though the SP did decrease. That's fine. We'll make do with a little bit less. Her attack and defense stayed. I mean, the hit went down, and the int is fine, and speed and res are fine. But we'll take that. Let's actually... This is going to sound really stupid. And let's see... Nope, nothing good. So, when you don't find any weapons you want, you can just kind of exit and re-enter the shop. Just like that. And that is how we got an 18-point sword to begin with. And we're going to summon assembly again. And we're going to make our second character, which is going to be... Nah, actually, let's not make a second character yet. With one extra character, I can show you a lot of things. And also, since we're not going to be using the horror a little bit, we're going to take off this item and give it to our healer or sword. If you notice, this is actually where this is why his level 1 stats were so high, was because he had this Imperial Seal, which gives him a very nice boost in stats. Would you look at that? So we're going to take that off, and we're going to give it the sword, so sword doesn't die. we're going to go into the Netherworld Hospital and we'll heal her up. Then we're going to go... Oh! I've added Virus Castle to the list of available areas. It's fairly new, so I do not know much about it. However, it is rumored that a very able man lives there. Very able. What you gonna do, Prince? Should we take a peek? Definitely. I'll slaughter the master of the castle as the first step to becoming Overlord. Well, shall we enter? Let's enter Var's castle and enter the Magnificent Gate. Stage start. Okay, there's nothing here except geo panels, and would you look at that? Enemy boost times 3. Yes, that is right. That is a 300% multiplier to your enemy stats. Therefore, the only reasonable thing to do is swing your sword at it and hope it dies. But because our sword is incredibly weak and has somewhat of a low attack aptitude as a tier 1 cleric or healer, it'll take 2 attacks to end that multiplier. And here we have a geo panel explosion. It's very colorful, and it's... well, when you chain combos together, it'll look much... it'll look a little bit more pleasing, I guess. Well, no, I don't think that's the word. Okay, yeah, here you see it. We only took 2 damage due to the fact that we have an Imperial Seal, which increases our stats by a good amount. So that helps out with leveling a level 1 character, and it also makes her virtually invincible until she gets ganged up on. So let me take care of the one I weakened. There we go. And that will be our level up. Let's see. Okay, so our specials are heal. And if we take a look at her status, her sword aptitude is E, which is the lowest ranking possible, which means she's not going to learn any sword skills anytime soon. Because to do that, you actually need somewhat of a aptitude for swords to actually gain experience points in it. So that means we just have to swing our sword a lot more. Is this unoptimal gameplay? Yes, this is unoptimal gameplay. And so you're just going to watch. Okay, never mind. That took it down quite nicely. I was expecting another hit needed. So our first lifted throw here is going to be throwing the EXP plus 50%, not 30, 50% onto the tile here. So now all of our yellow tiles will have 50% EXP increase. And I will move up and end my turn. Now, because I won't be able to reach any of these enemies in time with my measly movement of 4 points, I'm going to take this turn to cast a special. And wow, that is basically all my health. We have, oh yes, we have 31 int, right? Okay, that makes sense. I was kind of surprised there. Yeah, healing is a little bit overtuned sometimes. Depends on how you look at it. So here we have a problem, and that's that we can't reach this enemy. Nor can we reach this one. Nor can we reach these guys. So what we can do, however, is be within range and use the defend command. I believe the defend reduces the damage you take by 50% or so. Or maybe it increases your defense. I forgot. Oh no, I forgot the actual stuff. But whatever the case is, it's kind of a rare usage. You won't be seeing the use of defend. later on. We use the defend because our cleric currently has 0 encounter, which means if she gets hit by a normal attack, she's not going to respond anyway. So you're better off defending. Aha, okay. Oh, I should have moved. That's alright, because going here should attract the spirit over. Yep. Oh no, and I attracted an extra enemy I did not want to do. That's okay because we have enough stats. No, I don't want to attack you. I want to attack you. There we go. There. Bullseye. And 8 damage, so defending does pretty good. Alright, and so right now it's just going to be a little bit of normal attack exchange. And as you can also see, the enemy AI does approve of walking around and hitting your enemy on the back. Because yes, that does give you an advantage. So, let's see, if I move right over here, that should attract the Phantom, well, Spirit, and then let's heal up. Oh, we got a lot more than we bargained for. Has Sword learned? No, Sword has not learned her first Sword special yet. So we're just gonna kind of get beaten up here. Uh-oh. That's actually bad news. I won't be surviving another hit if I stay like this. Good news is that I can basically fully heal myself, so I'm going to walk around right here. And maybe I can take care of the mage here. Well, I want my 50% extra EXP though. So I'm going to take down the spirit here instead. 9 HP, I should be able to take care of it, and let's walk over here then. Oh, is he out of SP? Is that what happened? No? Just wants to smack me. Alright, let's go behind him and attack him. Yeah, see, with that, you deal a little bit more damage. Before you saw my swing was like maybe around 14 points. This one was a solid 18, which took him down cleanly in one stroke. And I will attract our skull here into the 50 EXP zone. And then I'll actually take this chance to cast another heal. And there you have it. A nice level up too. Now we're pretty low on SP, which is your spellcasting stat, so we'll go and heal. Okay, and here we get our first prize. So the deal with these prizes is that they're pretty good. They increase your stats by a good amount for what they're worth. But the first one is not that good. What you can do is you can exit and re-enter to claim the prize every time, and it will give you different results. I believe you can actually generate an item with a low enough rarity that it'll actually be legendary. And a legendary item in this game, if you can, has a rarity value of between 0 and 15. And the rarity value is actually the first number you see on the top of the item description, underneath its name. And you can see that it's at 145 right now, and it'll change as we go through it because we're reloading and respawning it. Or what is it? Yeah, refreshing it, so making it generate a new one every time. So we'll get a different rarity every time, almost. The highest rarity value is a 255. And there is a thing called Rarity Bonus, which lets you get a... how much percent was it? It's kind of small if it's not legendary, or... Yeah, it's kind of a small bonus if it's not legendary, but you get a rarity bonus if the rarity of items you equip is the same value. So if you equip a rarity 50 or with a rarity 50 sword or armor, you get a slight bonus to those stat increases that the items of the same rarity give. And I think there's a bronze rarity that happens. No wait, is there a bronze rarity? I think there's a bronze rarity that might happen. I might be wrong, and there might only be a silver rarity and a gold rarity. Gold being legendary, and silver being rare. Oh no wait, yes, we have a bronze one here, and that is for uncommon. Different installments of Disgaea have different rarity notations, and I think they change stuff up later on. Personally, I'd like it if we could get a silver rare item, but if we look at this common ore with an Armmaster bonus, I think we'll take those because that actually gives us a 7% increase in weapon mastery gain, hence the term Armmaster. Right. So we'll save, and actually, I'm going to do something really stupid now. Well, it's not actually stupid. It's what was intended. And we're going to buy ourselves a good staff if we can reset for one. Is the game intended to be like this? Yes. The developers did intend for the player to sort of exit and re-enter menus left and right. It is a gameplay in which this game is somewhat designed to go around. Can you do it without going through the menus left and right? Yes, you can. Alright, so I'm going to unequip the sword here. And we're going to notice, actually let's save first, because I kind of like that staff, even though we're going to replace it with a better one pretty soon anyway. We're going to create a new character. And this time we're going to create a green mage. We're going to make her incompetent, and we're going to call her Spinach. All good. Yeah, still 2 defense, huh? Orange is not on my side. Guess it commonly lowers stats more often than not. Ah! Let me check your status again. How much mana do you have? Only 3. Okay, never mind. Alright. Here's a little something. So if you notice this here, below the mana bar is a mentor and pupil. The mentor and pupil system is something that you can go through about No, I guess it's not in the help system. Maybe it'll pop up there later. But what it does is, as the mentor, when your pupil levels up, you gain a small stat boost based on the base stats of your pupil. As a mentor, you can also learn the skills of your pupil. I know, that sounds weird. You'd think the pupil would be able to learn the skills of the mentor. But the mentor is actually able to learn the skills of the pupil here. And I'll show you what I mean in a moment. So here, let's get Sword out. And let's get Spinach out. So Spinach knows Wind as her starting spell as a mage. And Cleric only has Heal right now. What you can do is you can place Spinach, or a pupil who knows a magic spell of some sort, beside her mentor. And you'll notice that the mentor can suddenly cast a level 0 spell. And this actually only works for spells. That's the catch. It does not work for weapon skills, it only works for magic spells. And right now it's level 0. So when we remove Spinach from the adjacent tile, you'll notice that Sword cannot cast Wind anymore. And what happens is, once we get Wind to level 1, Sword will suddenly be able to cast it without Spinach's help. Oh, we're a little surrounded here. And then, so if we go to status right now, we'll also see that the level 0 spell experience is hidden. And what we have to do is get Spinach back adjacent to Sword. We'll notice that, yes, she indeed does have some EXP in casting Wind. So we'll just rinse and repeat until Spinach can cast Wind. That is, if she doesn't die from getting hit first. But she has more than enough int to probably completely heal herself. Yep, okay. That's another one for the count. Can we take another hit? Yeah, we should be able to. Alright, last win before we see it hit level 1. Nice. Okay. So now our Wind is at level 1 for Sword. So when we remove Spinach from the equation now, you'll notice that Sword can now cast Wind at level 1. It is now in her arsenal of spells. So let's cast a heal here, which should fully recover us or close to it, and then end our turn. Oh yes, by the way, if you notice, our wand, or no, Staff Mastery is already at level 1. And with it, if we take a look at the menu to the right side, we'll also notice that the power percentage is now at 103%. there's also a range bonus, an area bonus you get from leveling your staff mastery, which makes staffs the go-to weapon for spellcasters. And it's also why being casting spells in general is so good, because I don't think any other weapon gives you a raw power percentage bonus from straight up just leveling it. You get a stat bonus from leveling up your... You get a substantial stat bonus from your weapon of choice when you have levels in its weapon mastery. But other than that, I don't think any other weapon gives you all of this. Which is why magic begins to look a little bit busted. And of course you might notice that, hey, wait a minute. Some enemies and some creatures, like, Sword herself, is actually resistant to wind. And so each random mob has its own elemental weaknesses and resistances. Custom or unique characters like Laharl and Etna have 0% resistances to elements, or I believe they have set resistances. Oh no, I do not want to heal an enemy. Not yet. We'll have maybe use for that. Maybe later. Now the thing about mages is that they are relatively SP heavy. And I'm already down to 5 SP. So if I can't take him down in... okay, I couldn't take it down in one more hit. That means I get to whack it with my staff. And with 4 HP left, I should be able to take it down, just like that. And that is why I would go and get myself a new character. But as you level up your mages, not your cleric, because your cleric will only learn healing spells and buff spells. Your mage, however, gets to learn stronger elemental variants, which just kind of... I mean, they cost a lot more SP, but they deal way more damage. It's kind of nasty. It's I think... Oh man, it's a multiplier at some point. So, a whole integer increase. Yeah, that's right. So what we want to do is... We'll kind of play through the game with just wind for now. In fact, a single mage caster can kind of solo a lot of stuff, and I'll show you that in a moment.
なかなか立派なお城ですね。あそこの壺なんて高く売れそうですよ。
バカ者、それでは単なるコソドルではないか。ここは魔界の後継者として恥ずかしくないよ。正々堂々と。
正々堂々とどうするんです？
すべてを奪い尽くしてやるのだ。
Plunder everything impartially. This is the demon way.
さすがは殿下。血も涙もありませんね。よっ、この極悪人。この人でらしい。悪魔の中の悪魔。
そう褒めるでない。照れるではないか。さあお前たち。ありとあらゆるものを奪って奪いまくるのだ。
あやいさ。Let's go. All right. wind here. What we can do is, okay, check that out. We have an enemy weak to wind, so we can take care of you first. So since everyone is level 1, I guess it doesn't matter since it's effectively overkill. Ah! Also, if you haven't noticed, you can hold down the square button. I've been doing this to rotate your character's orientation, in which direction it chooses to face, which is useful because you don't want your back facing your enemy sometimes, and that can prevent you from getting attacked from the back. With that in mind. Aha, okay. So, another thing about spells is that when you level them up, you unlock area of effect damage. Of course, for now this is only limited to 2, and it's a sort of awkward diagonal pattern. And this pattern is actually used to extend your spell attack range by 1 or 2 tiles, since what you can do is you can actually go out of range to hit, say, like a Geosymbol here, which I'm not going to do. But more often than not, this is going to be a little bit of a range extender instead of actually hitting 2 enemies. And, well, I mean, it's going to end up costing us double the SP anyway for only hitting 1 item outside of range, but I think that's fairly useful. So it's a good cost. Good exchange. Oh, okay, so this panel here gives us 50% defense, and it also gives us 1 more attack for the run. So what I kind of want to do is I want to go here, I want to stand on it, and I want to cast Wind. Behind, oh okay, I guess since we're standing behind the pixie here, we don't get our attack bonus. Aha, see right there, that is an extra attack from this thing. And the problem is you have an extra 50 defense now, and I don't want to deal with that. However, I will take this chance to cast Wind twice on your ally here, which barely cuts it. Oh no, I'm gonna run. Okay. What happened here? Oh, it has 14 res. That's okay, I will move back 1 more. Or 2 more. 7. 5, 7. If we get a critical hit, we might die, so I'm going to heal. Critical hits are, I guess they're sort of rare. I think it's like a 5 or 10% chance. It's not explicitly stated in this version of the game. So, I believe some weapons do have a higher crit rate than other weapons. But for all intents and purposes, critical hits are something that you cannot rely on whatsoever. Now that should take care of this swordsman, warrior, and... oh no! I am out of SP. I can only cast 1 more spell, and that's it. So what's going to happen is a little bit of tomfoolery. should have saved my SP for a heal, but wait, no. We only had 4. That wouldn't have been enough for a heal. Oh, it would. It would have. Never mind. We're gonna switch to a Swordbreaker. And do a string of regular attacks. Yes! This works. This is very viable method of gaming. And so in early game here, as you can see, being overleveled sort of lets you play around with a handful of mechanics. Lets you take hits that you otherwise would not survive, and lets you solo stuff. Now the thing here is, as a spellcaster you'll be getting a lot more range later on, which lets you solo stuff even better because no enemy will ever reach you in time before they die. You can also do... Right, and your next step is equipping equipment. There are certain equipments that increase your movement, which means you can kite enemies later on too. Later on as well. And that is... Yep, that's a stage clear. And we got our next prize to claim, which is Muscle Broad. Not much of a boast. Guess it works for low levels though. That is still a decent upgrade. So we will take that. And oh, I forgot to switch back to a staff, which also increases my SP by a bit. So we're going to go back and we're going to recover some SP again. Alright. Let me talk to you here. Welcome, this is the gateway to the Item World. The Item World is one of the most dangerous places in the Netherworld. Walk in unprepared and you may die. The topography, geopanels, and geosymbols change every time, so you might run into gaps in your path. I'm not to blame if you enter without an item to escape. Well, that's for another time. I think I want to at least reach the last stage for this area before we end the stream. Fire's Castle, Corridor of Love. Aha! We have a level 3 win now. And that means I can actually cast this 1x3 area of effect spell now, at the cost of 3 times the SP. Of course, this is kind of tempting. I get to hit these guys in 1 turn, but it costs me 3 more. But yeah, I am missing 1 slot, but it is definitely worth it if I can take them down. Alright. Yeah, right now, Sword does not have that much SP. So we're going to kind of give it a good whack. Ah, 40% recovery. Muscle Brawn. Oh, right. Okay. I see. Right, I will have to do something about that later. There's another mechanic in the game that's going to be really useful later on. So we're going to cast Wind on this one. And it seems like this ghost here is neutral until I hit it or something. So I'll let the archer do her thing. Okay, you're kind of resistant to wind. And I am all out Right. Okay. I guess that works. Yeah. Oh no, we have 2 archers coming at me now. Oh, and she regens more HP than I can swing at her. That is a problem. Because I only have a limited amount of SP. And I do not have enough to take down or spirit. That is certainly a problem. Let me see if doing this does anything. Will it move back? No, it will not. Okay. That's good. I can whack it with my stick. It does not respond. And staying here, I can just recover 40% of my health all the time, every time. While spending my time whacking. Is this optimal gameplay? No, this is clearly not optimal game. Oh no, they're learning how to use specials. I've let them use their bows too many times. Yes. Here's the thing. Enemies can actually grow in battle. That means that if you do let them attack enough times, they will learn special skills to use against you. For me, this is a very bad thing, because I'm about to take more damage than I can handle. Oh yes, and if enemies, I think if your enemies do kill hot enough. Ooh. I was not expecting that to hit that hard, holy moly. Oh dear. That means we get the save scum again. And this time we're gonna be a little bit better with our action economy. We're gonna do that. Which takes care of one ghost, and we're going to... Let's switch actually, so we can make sure that takes care of you. And we're going to go down and end our turn. And this guy's gonna come up here. And we're going to see that... Okay, nope. He's resistant to wind. So I'm just going to normal attack it and walk into the pool. Yeah. That is going to attract the archers, unfortunately. Oh no, okay. I may have done poorly on action economy, even worse than last turn. Uh-oh. Yeah, okay. Let's equip our staff. Let's see if... Oh! I see our staff leveled up, which gave us an extra range option. So we can now cast a wide area wind spell, which deals absolutely atrocious damage because everybody is resistant against wind this round. Oh yes, as you may have noticed, the archers themselves are level 4. So there is a strange sort of level scaling with these first couple of stages, and it kind of encourages you to, I suppose, go through the previous stages a couple more times to raise up a few more characters and level them up instead of doing what I'm doing, because this is, I mean, I guess it's one way to play the game, but it's not really how you're supposed to play the game. Oh, that's nice. This guy is weak against wind. Oh, but why? Oh, you have incredibly high resist. Wait a minute. But I have like twice the int. I guess that was just a dead hit. Alright, there's a nick. Okay, yeah. I get it. Let's use our sword for now. No. I have to take care of you first. Yeah, there is a pretty strange variance of damage, huh? First that went from 22 to 14. Now it's 16. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to lift you up, and we're going to throw you. And then we're going to proceed to whack you a good number of times. It'll probably take me like 3 turns, and I'm going to hope that no enemy comes up and walks up. Which gives me time, all the time in the world, to attack you. Apparently, you are not hostile in any way whatsoever. In fact, maybe if I stay here, I can attract a couple enemies. No, I can't. Let me see here. Wind. No. Wait, what about you? No? Okay. That's fine. Let's use up all our SP. I'll go right up here. And that should attract everyone. I cast a spell on you. That should deal substantial damage. And I'm gonna get my path blocked. Uh-oh. Here comes the melee damage. And as you can see, melee is my enemy right now. I'd like to cast a wind, maybe on you. See if that helps. No, you're pretty resistant too. Okay, I'm all out of SP. I'll rest here. Huh. Ooh. Yikes. Alright. I'm very much all out of SP. Eek. Oh, that's 30 damage. That's more than I can regen in this pool. 40% of my health is only 29. Alright. I really need a miracle here, do I? No, I don't need a miracle. I'm good. I should be fine. Ooh. I guess if the AI doesn't hit me, that works too. We got lucky there. Oh, well I guess she's all out of SP too. Or not. She just wants to play the whacking game for some reason. As you can see here, this game is indeed designed for you to gang up on enemies and destroy them in one go, but I am maybe playing this the opposite way and being the one who gets ganged up on. Oh, this sword actually deals pretty consistent damage compared to the magic spell. Ooh. I hit from the back. It's nasty of you. Oh, and he even has a counter. Okay. How many counters does he have? One. That kind of having one counter actually works kind of strangely. Oh no. He's learning specials. It's a big yike. Ooh, only 9 damage. Uh-oh. Okay. Oh no, he got back in the pool because of that. That was all calculated, wasn't it? Oh, I might not survive this. Ooh, lucky. Lucky me. Oh, 15? Jeez. Nice. That is finally done. And that leaves you for last? Is that right? Is there anyone else? No. We are clean. The sword was truly the MVP all along. It was not the staff. It is the sword. Oh! We can claim a prize. Let's see. Aha! That is going to be useful. Let's see if we could get a better rarity or at least some decent innocence on it. Or yeah, decent stat boosts. Claim prize. Nope. None of these I want. Nope. Nope. Ooh. Oh, well, sure. I'll take that. Now then, that gives me a much better pool for SP. And with enough special points, anything is possible. Okay. Please select where you would like to go. Here is the last stage of the first area. Here he comes.
勝手に人の城に侵入しておいて何者だとはとんだ礼儀知らずですね。ですがその度胸には敬意を表してあげましょう。
Sassy.
決まりましたね。
Oh.
私の名はバイア。この城の主。
Look at that. Look at that exposed chest. It's a ribcage. Holy moly.
確か魔王の座を狙う連中を次々と倒している悪魔の名前が。
その通りです。美しきマドモアゼ。美と強さをこよなく愛する貴族。 ビューティー男爵バイアスとはこの私のことです。
ビューティーダーク。
ところでそこの少年よ、今は亡きクリチェフスコイ王のご子息とお見受けしました。
いかに
Oh
も
man, the amount of
魔界
style.
の後継者ラハールとはこの俺様のことだ。
Oh, that's a
魔界
lot.
の後継者はそれはもはや過去のこと。あなたはすでに忘れられた存在。現に
Such good voice
多
acting.
くの悪魔が魔王の座を狙い、毎日のように争いを繰り返しているのですよ。
それがどうした？魔界の後継者はこの俺様だ。それを忘れたというのなら思い出させてやるだけのことだ。
なるほど。それで私の実力をいち早く見抜き奇襲を仕掛けてきたというわけですか。その経過、さすが魔王クリチェフスコイの忘れがたみですね。
お前のことなど知らん。ここへ来たのはただの偶然だ。お前なんか俺様が魔王になるための踏み台に過ぎん。
どんな悪魔も一目置くこのビューティー男爵バイア。
お前の名前などどうでもいい。ただの中ボスで十分だ。
中ボステストを
中ボスです。
あれま、彼のプライドを傷つけちゃったみたいですよ。
Here it is.
許しませんよ。
Oh. Alright, well, look, his name's been changed to mid boss too. Look at that. Oh, his class is even mid boss. Warrior, warrior, boggart, green mage, archer, mid boss. Sassy demon. What a sassy demon. Boggart. Okay. Well. Wow, would you look at that? One extra attack and triple enemy boost. That's something I'd like to get out the way as fast as possible. But there's one problem. What is your spellcasting range? It's at level 2. So I think this should be safe. Okay. Wait a minute. I just sacrificed spinach for nothing. Are you serious? No wonder why she didn't have high level heals. Oh, I'm blind, chat. Well, at least these guys are weak to wind, so I get clean hit. Okay. Oh no. Oh no. I was still in range of that wind spell, huh? Yeah, okay. Now you might be wondering, how in the world is a level 4 mage dealing more damage against what I believe was like level 7 or level 6 healer? Cleric, right? Okay, well. And that besides the point, right? She only has 42 int. Well, that's because we have nasty enemy boost here. And she's standing on one of the only tiles that gives you that bonus. Since all is lost, I would reset. But there's actually a special surprise here for, there's actually a special surprise for trying, at the very least. So, just going to kind of send out everyone to their deaths here. Oh, how flamboyant. I love that. Some really clean animations though. Alright, that's it. It's over. Bullseye. And we get a wipeout.
勝っちゃいましたね。
This is a little special ending actually.
こういう予定じゃなかったんですが、私は強すぎる、そして美しすぎる。ああ、なんと罪深きことか。彼らにはいずれ立ち直ってもらうとして、とりあえず。花よ木よ草よ、さあこの私の強さをたたえておくれ。ミュージックスタート。
That's a little special cutscene you get to hear at the very end, and you also get to listen to some nicely well-composed music. Nicely well-composed. Very, very well-composed music. Oh, here he comes, he's singing now.
者の悩みがあるものさ、理解されることなき孤独な憂い、それがまたセクシーでミステリアスなのさ、ゆえに皆は我をたたえる。己が正義守り通す鉄の意志、そして深き愛が我が
Pachi, 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 pachi. Yay! Theme. Okay. Save data can be carried over to the next cycle. Save? Yes! And that is it for today's Guerilla Tactics. Yeah, it's a little bit of a silly start, I suppose, you know. Purposely throwing the match at the first boss to take a look at a special ending and then starting a new game plus right after that. Among other things, such as making a cleric pull out a sword and beat up enemies. Yes. So, well, we'll be getting to... Oh, you just got here. Oh, I'm sorry. Please enjoy the VOD. I'm sure you'll like it. Whoop whoop. Well, maybe. I'm actually not that sure anymore. I mean, I feel like I'll have these games as, well, this game especially, like Disgaea Afternoon of Darkness, as more of a guerrilla thing, because I'm sure people don't really want to see me play a boring tactics game, of all things. Well, I mean, I wouldn't call it boring, it's just, a lot of it is, I already know what I'm doing, and I feel like part of the fun is watching your streamer kind of struggle, and I know that sounds a little bit mean, but yeah, I do feel like part of the fun is watching your streamer struggle and learn the game. It's a learning experience for everyone, if that's the case. And unless, you know, you've already played the game, then you can take backseat. Please don't actually backseat. Well, yeah, so this being sort of a guerrilla game. Guerrilla stream, guerrilla tactics. Yeah. I feel like, you know, that'll probably bring in people who just, I guess, stumble across this or just kind of go, well, maybe I feel like listening to not kind of rant about a game that she knows how to play. If that's your thing. Yeah, it's a lot less action and definitely a lot more of just me saying, ah yes, well, we can do a little bit of this and maybe a little bit of that, and then, but if you do all of that, then the game becomes easy peasy lemon squeezy. You know? And, well, of course, the occasional flub up and going, ah, well, darn, I guess I have to restart the game, and you know, probably a good amount of salt from the later future RNG happenings that will come to be, and the amount of safe scumming you will see me do will be incredible. That's only if you tune into the Guerilla stream, though. As for other games that I'm actually not more familiar with, even, yeah, there'll be RPGs and tactics and turn-based, for sure, but they will not be Disgaea. That will be probably my Guerilla stream kind of deal. Who knows? Maybe I might actually, like, maybe if Disgaea does release a new game, I might try and stream that. But, didn't they release, like, 6 about, was it, well, wow, was it last year already? Oh man. Oh yeah, it is the new year. I haven't told you guys Happy New Year, have I? Happy New Year to those who are watching and to those who have tuned in today. It's a little bit late. But, yeah. I'll probably continue, yeah, I'll definitely continue streaming Gurumin, and I want to try, maybe, find another game to go along with that, too. Ooh, or maybe do something different, like, drawing. Should I? Yeah. I'll see if I could stream myself drawing a little bit of stuff. Not sure what I want to draw though. That is also the problem. Anything else? Oh right, and for a music stream, it's gonna be a rare one. I'm not sure if I can actually pull that off right now either. I'll have to get my chops back up. So that's probably something you can look forward to too. I'll definitely have those scheduled in advance for sure. That'll be all for today. Thank you for tuning in to a Guerilla stream. And I hope you have a nice rest of your day wherever you are. おつなってした